The Planet Green Trees Show.
You know, I just wanted to bring something up, and it's worth mentioning because, and we've discussed this in previous episodes, but the scenario that we find ourselves in with the protesters and the disproportionality of arrests and deaths, etc., in certain communities, all goes back to, at least in modern era, the war on marijuana, the war on drugs. And this is not a conspiracy. You know, there's the famous quote from Ehrlichman that, the 1968 Nixon campaign was about, had two enemies, the Vietnam protesters and the civil rights movement. We couldn't make it illegal to be black, and we couldn't make it illegal to be a war protester, so we wanted to lock them up for other reasons. So I mentioned that because it was all based on, politics. None of the illegality of marijuana or other drugs at the time was the basis of it. The Schaefer report was rejected by Nixon. And of course, this Ehrlichman quote goes on to say, we knew if we could make these things illegal, we could vilify their leaders, we could break up their meetings, we could pull them out in front of the news every night so people sitting at their dinner table would see the terrible ways of this. And I say that because these were two classes that Nixon identified with and went after. On occasion, you would hear Nixon talk badly about Jewish psychiatrists. Mm-hmm. He's talking about Lester Grimspoon. I just want to make that point. Like, it was just Lester Grimspoon in the as was being discussed in the academia of Harvard, in a place that Nixon was totally excluded from. That was something he had. He hated Kennedy. That's his whole ego.
Yeah, Nixon hated the academia elites just as much as he hated the hippies in the street, just as much as he hated the Martin Luther Kings and Malcolm X's of the world.
That's right.
His enemy list was long and diverse.
The Planet Green Trees Show.